Hickok45 here, dual wielding. You say no, I say yes. They're both not the same firearm, but they're both 10 millimeter. We want to compare, do a little comparison with the 45 ACP and the 10 millimeter in some really common firearms, like the Glock 20 and the Glock 21. Basically the same firearm, okay, but in different calibers. Same here, Delta Elite, and then the Series 80 Colt 45. Same gun, they weigh, I think, 38 ounces. They weigh the same. These weigh about the same. Let's just shoot the 10. Let's shoot the Cowboy about 3 times. Then I'm going to grab this one. All right. Okay, fresh on my mind. Let's do that again. Let's do a double tap. All right. All right. What are my impressions? Let's not tell them, John. Let's not tell them what I think. No, the 10 millimeter is just a little bit more whack to it. Okay, not a lot of difference though. I don't notice a whole lot of difference. I think while we're on the 1911s, why don't we just go ahead and put some of the hotter stuff in. I don't notice a lot of difference, to tell you the truth. There is a little difference though. The 45 is just a little bit milder. We got some hotter stuff here now, and I'll compare it. Let's say you're carrying, and a lot of people would say this is what you ought to be carrying if you're carrying a 10, something like this hot. Now generally if it was for personal defense, it would not be a big old trophy bonded soft point like this. It would be maybe a hollow point, but it'd be a hot round like this. Okay, so maybe this is a fair comparison. So let's do it again. We're hot. We're hot. All right. So now comparing 10 to 10, even though it's a little bit of apples to oranges, it's kind of what you would be carrying in a 45 probably. Good standard ammo. And that may be, obviously, it might be a hollow point, but it would, yeah, wouldn't necessarily be something hotter than good old 230 grain ammo. Might be. But in 10, if you think you need a 10, you're probably carrying something pretty hot, like this. All right, Cowboy. Let's do a 2 liter. Wow. Yeah. Now, there's going to be some difference here. Let's try a 2 liter. Yeah. Yep. It's like we picked up a 38 special compared with a real 10. There's a pot that needs smoking. Boy. It knocked everything around. Okay, now we have a difference in recoil. So I kind of rolled into maybe a more realistic situation, just accidentally. Again, I'd be carrying something like that if I needed serious protection against big animals, dangerous animals, and what else? Or for hunting, I was going to say. For hunting, if you're going to hunt something, hunting deer or whatever, large game, you would want some hot ammo. So generally speaking, in the real world, for the real purpose of a 10 millimeter, I guess you'd be more likely to be, that would be a more valid comparison perhaps. All right, so 45 is a little bit of a pussycat compared with the 10 millimeter in a warm loading. And that might answer, just that alone might answer a lot of people. Over the years, I've seen a lot of questions about what's the difference between 45 and 10 millimeter? Is the 45 better or 10 millimeter better and all that kind of thing? Well, that alone will hopefully give you a little bit of insight. If you're kind of new to shooting, you've never shot one of them or either, the 45, a novice shooter looks at that and might think, well, what's a bigger bullet? It's heavier, it's bigger. 45 is supposed to be the ultimate cartridge. You know, well, 10 millimeter is actually more powerful. A little bit smaller hole. I think it's about 40 caliber, 10 millimeter, right? And this is 45, so it's bigger, but it's not as powerful a cartridge. All right, so that's a big difference. Let's try a little bit of that with the Glocks now. Got John's 21 here, my 20. Let's see what we got loaded. We'll do the standard stuff here. Again, I don't want to take all day. I just want to give you an idea, see how much difference. All right, we've got 10 millimeter standard ammo. Feels pretty stout. You look at what? Oh, you gotta shoot this one real fast. Almost forgot. All right. Okay. Almost forgot what I was preaching about earlier. Got to shoot them right away. I sense about the same difference, comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges, different guns, but the difference in the recoil is very similar. The 45 is just a little bit milder, but it's not significant, Now, when I put some of this in here, we'll probably notice more of a change, all right? I will say in either one, though, because I've shot this in both guns, it's very controllable. It's not like it's something you can't control, the warmer 10 millimeter. And you've seen other videos. We've done several with this firearm. I shot some of the very hottest stuff I could find. Heavy bullets and all sorts of things. Very controllable. In fact, people, I think, accused me in one video of the ammo being weak or something just because it was so controllable. Well, it just is. They're easy to handle. And I'm going to fill that magazine up. Give you a good dose of this stuff. Trophy bonded. I know it's a little overkill. He's shooting steel targets and 2 liters trophy bonded ammo, but that's okay. That's what we do. All right, let's shoot some of this. See the difference. Again, real 10 millimeter ammo. Although I'm sure you can find something even hotter than that, but it's pretty stout. I'm gonna lay. Those are hot. I'm laying them right there, pointing down range. All right, trophy bonded. All right, cowboy, you're getting beat up today. I know. Right there, 45. Yeah, let's go gonging. All right, let's finish this guy off with the gong. 10 millimeter, heavy rounds. Wow, cowboy. Could you tell how fast those are getting to the gong? Much faster than the 45. So yeah, those are some warm rounds. That, again, that's what a 10 millimeter is designed to be. I mean, ideally. I mean, I don't see a big problem with shooting just moderate ammo because it's a lot warmer than 40. But yet there's some really stout ammo out there and very good hunting ammo and very good defensive ammo. So yeah, there's a big difference between in these guns too, shooting that kind of ammo. It makes this feel like a pussycat for sure. All right, does the same over here. You're looking at these cartridges, thinking about one of them, or you got the hots for the 10 millimeter. You've read the ballistics on it. You see the ballistics test online. Wow, what a round! I got to have that. Well, maybe you do. Just be aware, it's more expensive to shoot. The guns, a 10 millimeter doesn't cost much more or any more than a 45 in the same gun, and a Glock, I think it may cost a little more. Now these guns, it will run a little more. I forget the difference in price, but a 45, the Delta Elite's going to run a little bit more. Again, it's more of a market thing though, okay? But there's a variety of guns out there if you're interested in a 10 millimeter, not a big deal. Self-defense I didn't talk about. A lot of people are, why doesn't everybody carry that if it's that hot and that powerful? Well, some people do. And I'm not going to argue with people about that or debate here about that. I have some issue carrying anything that's a little non-standard self-defense. If you talk to a lot of police instructors or CCW instructors, Masa Yub, he's probably going to tell you not to carry something too unusual or ammo that's way out there, some super duper ammo somebody came up with that's supposed to rip through a car and looks jagged and it's got some dangerous name. Those kinds of things, you're better off if you stick with what generally the police carry, if you don't want a hard time in court, probably, okay? But there's two sides to that, so don't take my side necessarily. But that's just what I do. Carry something kind of standard, a lot of good stuff to carry out there. Good guns, good calibers, good ammo. You don't have to go way off out there into space to get something that will work.